Welcome to the Let's Talk About Love, Sex, and Infidelity podcast with your host, Todd Creager. Todd has over 35 years of experience working with thousands of couples as a licensed therapist in his private practice. Todd shares his insights on this show. It's never too early to divorce-proof your marriage or too late to heal yourselves and have the relationship you truly want.
Hi, everybody. This is Todd Creager. I spend my time helping individuals and couples. So I help couples rekindle passion. I help them heal from infidelity and other crises. I also help individuals overcome trauma, usually using eye movement desensitization and reprocessing. And I do incorporate meditation with people that choose to participate with me in that because I find meditation to be really excellent and very helpful and a great adjunct to everything I do. But today, I want to talk about something related to meditation, but it's called the power of stopping, how it helps our health and relationships, or how it improves our health and relationships. So, stopping, what do I mean by stopping? Think about this for a moment. It's only been the smallest sliver of human history that we have light bulbs, we have lighting, and people can do things at night, like I'm doing right now. I'm doing this recording at nighttime. I have a light shining, so I look relatively bright, and I have all kinds of electrical equipment around me. Of course, they didn't have that hundreds of years ago, not too many hundreds of years ago even. So people, they lived life by day and they worked, let's say in the fields. And as sunset hit, everything stopped and slowed down. People stopped. People had candles for lights, but people stopped. They didn't have devices like computers and phones and other kinds of technology. They didn't have any of that. And people really had no other choice but to stop and slow down. And I think our bodies were built for caveman times. Looking at some of the diets that help people heal. I remember Dr. Gundry came out with a book, um, the Dr. Gundry's Evolution Diet. And he's written things since then, and I'm not a big proponent. I'm not saying you should go out and get a Dr. Gundry book, but my point is that he talked a lot about how we used to eat before we had processed foods and all kinds of different things. And people would eat a lot of vegetables and fruit, not as many carbohydrates actually. And so we're finding that there's a lot of wisdom in the past. I'm not saying that we haven't grown and that we're wiser in some ways. I think we are. But in terms of Dr. Gundry and his nutrition, he's looked at the past to help you see maybe what is the secrets of longevity. But one of the things that people did also in the past was to slow down, to stop, to practice doing nothing. In this modern day world, it's not so easy to do, but there's a certain power in doing that. I do it. If I could do it, you could do it. I work a lot too. Some of my friends my age are retiring. I am far from it. I take my time off and I play, but I work. I have a busy private practice. I do other things, such as a meditation program that's coming out that I've been developing. It takes some time, takes some effort, and I'm also a professor at USC, so I'm pretty busy. And I have time to stop. I make time to stop every day. And by stopping, which I'll explain what that means, at least in my case, stopping when we go again, it's so much more enriching. I actually this thing about stopping came from John Kabat-Zinn's book, Wherever You Go, There You Are. It's been around a long time. It's on mindfulness-based stress reduction. And he actually has a chapter called Stopping. And I read that whenever that came out, many decades ago now, at least two, I would say. And he says that. He says something like, when you stop and then you go again, the going is more textured, more rich. Why is that? Because we're getting in touch with our natural need to stop. Those people that are going all the time until they collapse when they hit the bed, that is not going with the way we are wired. We are not wired to go that way. There's an importance of stopping, right? The Judeo-Christian religion talks about a Sabbath. So you work for 6 days, and on the seventh day you rest. The Jewish religion is Saturday, and the Christian religion is Sunday. But there's an emphasis on rest. But I think we need to rest every day. So what do I mean by rest? And this rest that is ingrained in us, evolutionarily speaking, in our bodies, as well as in our psyches, this need for this rhythm of stopping and going. Look, I go more than I stop. I'm not, if I stop for a 30-minute meditation and I stop throughout the day for a few minutes here and a few minutes there, if you add up the time I go, it's a lot more than the time I stop on most work days. So you don't need to balance it out 50-50 or anything, but we all need to stop. And what do I mean by stopping? I'll say it now. Stopping is when you drop your agenda. We all have agendas, and these agendas are, we have things to do, things to get done, problems to solve, people to tend to. That's all good. It's all part of life. It's part of being human. But we can afford to, most of us can, if we're not living in a third world country or living in survival all the time, we can stop. And everybody stops. Honestly, people in third world countries actually stop more than we do. There's a certain stopping and built into their lifestyle. So many Europeans stop. They have a siesta. So when I went to Spain, I was amazed how everything stopped between 1 and 4 p.m. and people just stopped. They rested. They just closed shop. Many of them, most of them. They had a drink of something, not necessarily alcoholic, just to stop. Usually they wouldn't drink something alcoholic because it's still during their workday. But they would just pause. It's like just not trying to get anything done for a small period of time. Just stopping. Just resting. It's almost like a trusting that if I just stop trying to get anything done, stop getting caught up in all my thinking, that when I come back to the world of doing, that it hasn't fallen apart on me. I haven't gone bankrupt. My partner hasn't left me. We can afford to stop. Rest. Not necessarily think. You got to think because we have a mind and our mind thinks. But to just pull back from getting caught up in any thinking, just stopping. Because thinking is kind of part of doing. We're trying to think to figure things out and solve things and evaluate things, evaluate ourselves. Am I stopping well? No, it's okay. You just stop, just rest. Let your belly rest. Soften it. Let your jaw rest. Now, muscles don't have to be working all the time, especially when we're not walking and running. You just sit like I am right now and just stop. Just let things be as they are. Not trying to change anything, just for now, just for a minute or 5 minutes or however long you do it. Stopping for, I had a Tai Chi chair to relax. It's a meditation kind of Tai Chi chair instructor years ago that said, when we stop for even 40 seconds, it kicks our immune system up another notch. There's no question it does that. When we stop, we practice stopping. It can actually help us learn to listen better to our partners, which can enhance our relationship. When we stop, we can actually take notice of things outside of our own little to-do world. that might enhance our life, enhance our relationship, enhance our partner. So I would recommend that you take as much time as you want. I take 30 minutes. I'm not saying you gotta do 30 minutes every day formally, and I take other times to stop too, just to stop. Because we learned that we're not having to be in control all the time. Yes, we can't just sit and, I know I can't sit and meditate all day or just do nothing all day. There's things to do. I wouldn't want it that way. But we don't have to do all the time, and we can afford to just stop and rest and let the world take care of itself for a little while you rejuvenate. Soften, just stop, just rest. Cardiovascularly, I know how much it's helped me, but it helps us in all our systems, in all our bodily systems, to rest, to just let things be, to not try to change anything for a minute, for 5 minutes. I just told you about 40 seconds, but if we got a minute or 5 minutes, or 10 minutes, if you could stop for 5 minutes, it does wonders for you. So I tell my couples, slow down, stop together. 10 minutes a day keeps the divorce attorney away. There's something about stopping that has been overlooked. That was the way we lived for thousands and thousands of years until we had all this electricity and devices. So slow down and stop. Even throughout the workday, you could afford to stop for a minute or two. And notice what happens. Notice how you feel. Notice your energy. That's what I want to say. I'm going to stop now, talking about stopping. This is Todd Creager, making the world safe for love.
That's it for today's episode of Let's Talk About Love, Sex, and Infidelity podcast with your host, Todd Creager. For free resources and materials, head over to toddcreager.com. Loved this episode? Head over to iTunes and subscribe, rate, and leave a review. We'd really appreciate it. Thank you.